Alright, we're going to be dropping a Rockford Fosgate P2 punch into a 2016 Model X. Snagged this guy off Amazon for 90 bucks. Dual 2 ohm voice coils. Should wire up to that factory sub just right. Couldn't really find any tutorials on a Model X. I figured I'd throw this one together. Haven't pulled apart the trunk of this yet, aside from installing a dash cam up top. But this panel here looks like the right spot to start, so gonna start pulling this guy out. It kind of popped out pretty easy. It might be kind of hard to see, but I can see a clip in there, so we can probably pull on this edge here and pull straight back and have some success pulling that out. Alright, have to put the phone down for that one, but that came out with a little bit of a tug. If you pull straight back, you can see that metal clip will pull straight out of there. Ooh, and pull one more. You'll see two clips come out down at the bottom there. I think I hit pause in the video so you couldn't hear it pop, but if you pull straight out, those clips should come out without much of an issue. I just started pulling this carpet back a little bit. You can see we got a light here. These clips come off pretty easy. Looks like we got a Torx here and a Torx down here holding this trim piece on for the ledge there, so I think I'm going to remove those guys and see if that gets me some better access. This carpet's kind of stuck up under here, so I don't want to yank it too hard. Alright, pull both of those Torx bits out, both T20s. Started pulling on this guy a little bit. I can see some metal clips started popping out there already, so just going to keep going, pulling straight back. I can't find any more screws or anything up on this end, so let's keep pulling. Alright, pop that out a few more clips going down that direction. Looks like it's connected to some of that leather trim up there. I'm going to try to leave that connected. I pulled on the carpet a little bit here. It looks like it has some clips on it as well. Again, just keep pulling straight back, and that came out kind of easy. Alright, came up to this end and just we're behind the middle seats now. We pulled this trim piece back, and there was a clip that went straight into that back top trim there. So it's a good thing I didn't yank too hard. There's the other end of that trim piece with a T20 Torx screwing it into the panel there. So, alright, pulled the Torx out. Oh, that thing comes right out now. You can see 4 metal clips there that just come straight out. So now I just kind of pop this back a little bit. There's some pretty large clips there. They just kind of pull back, but I'm not sure how much luck I'm going to have without futzing with these seats here. So we'll see if we can work around this. If not, this job might have just got a lot bigger. Alright, well, this carpet kind of looks like it's stuck on here by something holding these hinges on. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this bottom plate so I can get this carpet out a little easier. Maybe help get this carpet out from the bottom too. It looks like it's pretty stuck behind this carpet. Went ahead and unbolted, pulled that trim piece off, another T20 at the bottom there, and then this bottom sill just kind of pops straight up. It's a little tricky. You got to get the carpet out from the bottom of that. Ooh. And you can see there's maybe 4 major clips that hold that, and they just go straight down. So pull that thing straight up. So once that's out, these plastic clips, 4 of them holding on this carpet, I'm going to pull that out since that's kind of in front of this side carpet. Not sure why, but this guy seems to be in there good. I got a spudger with a fork on the end of it here. I'm going to try to fork this guy out. I keep hearing cracks, so got a feeling this one's going to have to get replaced. Nope, it's good. Just tight. The one on the other end was tighter than the ones in the middle as well. That carpet was in there pretty good. Turns out there's a metal clip This is like almost resin backed, so clips on each side, pull it straight towards the front of the car. So that uncovered some orange do not touch me wires. Be sure not to get near that one. Looks like trunk vents. Some more electronics down here. So at this point, my biggest obstacle getting this carpet out of the way is this pretty hefty bracket that's got some rather large Torx screws, one at the top, one at the bottom, into the frame. So can't really figure out an easy way to get the carpet over this hook. It looks like it's in there pretty good. Unclear about how that even attaches. Feels like there's a spring underneath of it. So pulling these Torx out. Alright, so those T30s, got my little socket for my bits. That came out pretty easy. That gives me a whole lot more play now on that carpet. Kind of seems like I might need to pull this top trim piece off because the woofer looks like it's mounted up underneath here. So those T30 screws are not that long, so once you get it started with the socket, just use your fingers to pull it out. Use two hands once you get near the end so you don't drop it down to this abyss. Who knows how you can get things out of there. Alright, so with that carpet back, not looking good. Looks like there's an HVAC motor, which is probably going to block most of the screws I got to get get the sub down further. There's probably something over here back behind the seats that's likely keeping that sub in that way. So looks like we're going to bed for tonight and figuring out how to get these seats out tomorrow. Alright, well, just getting on taking those seats out. I pried a little bit and discovered that what was holding this on was there's a piece there that top shelf rests on. The trick to getting that out is you just got to put a flathead in there and pry that little plug out. It just mounts in down here under the bottom of that. I just left that in place there. So once you got that out, really just had to pull a little bit. The carpet kind of gets tucked under here. So putting that back in is probably going to be real fun, but we'll save that for later. I just kind of yanked this HVAC piece out. Nothing was really holding that on besides some tape on each end of the ductwork there. So that kind of gives me the access I need. I think just have one bolt down here, another bolt up there. I think that's all I've seen in some of the diagrams of how that's held in there. Looks like we might have to take this top piece off too to get this guy out, because that won't drop very far there. Alright, next step. So we gotta get this top trim piece off. Goes all the way to the HVAC there. It's kind of easy to yank off here. As you can see, a couple trim clips. Gonna just keep continuing pulling totally straight out. Let's see how that gets us. I pulled a little bit, got one more clip out up here. Looks like I got a clip there. I'm still stuck down further, so I'm gonna try to yank that direction one more time here. Well, closer inspection shows we got another little T20 down here holding this in, so again, good thing I didn't yank. Forgot to mention before I did that there was a T25, T20, T20, and I went ahead and grabbed these guys here, 10 mil and an 8 mil, got those guys out. Yeah, I just started loosening that T20 there and the whole thing just kind of got limp, so that's all that's holding that guy on right now. Alright, so that definitely needed to come out. Looks like we have another bolt up here for the top of the woofer. And the only hope of getting this thing off looks like a clip here and a clip there. Try not to take this trim piece off, but we'll see where that gets me. Also, looks like HVAC just kind of shoots up into here. gonna go ahead and once I got that guy out, pop him through these connectors. They kind of hold that LED wire on there, but I want to take this piece out for quite a bit, so I don't have to cut any tape or any zip ties here that are in the factory panel. I can just pop those out. There's the other end of that vent. It's connects up to that trim piece, so the third row passengers get some air up there. This is what a workbench looks like during the coronavirus. Just had to grab my extension socket, run with a 10mm. These are definitely standard bolts, but the 10 mils work. Just be careful on that bottom one, you don't drop it. The bottom right bolt's a little bit longer than the bottom left bolt when you put them back in. Make sure you got that there. Alright, had to get that top nut out. Same 10mm worked. We'll do the honors and try to film this. You can tell I'm new to this. There you go. The woofer just clips in there. Pulled that clip out. I mean, this weighs nothing. Maybe 5 pounds if you're lucky. So. There you go. Here's a close-up of the enclosure. Part number 1050085-00-, can't tell you because it cut off. I think most people say when you put your non-factory woofer in there, you gotta seal up these holes or else you get some bass leakage and it won't sound good there, but you can see the port on that guy is pretty significant. Paper. Alright, video part 3. Got our sub wired up here. Dual 2-ohm voice coils. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Just fashioned a little harness here so it just wires up those little factory clips. Put the little trim ring to go around that since my sub's a little bit too thick. It's got these really big ears on the end of it. Rockford, Fosgate, P2 punch. Doesn't quite fit. Either shave off these little plastic edges on the sub, or I just threw a trim ring in here, stuffed some butyl under it, and then I just used the factory mount points for the factory sub and screwed in my trim ring, and then I'm going to screw the sub into the trim ring. Alright, woofer's in, cover rings on. When you're making a trim ring, if your woofer don't fit, use your old woofer as a template. Kind of drilled out this guide hole, so there's a little nipple on the woofer box. This woofer is made for a little bit smaller enclosure, so ported is good. It's got 250 watt RMS, and the factory amp's only about 80 watts, so interested to see how this will sound. I mean, a significant weight difference between the two. Giant magnets and voice coils. So test fit them at dangerously close. I mean, you get lucky that the HVAC duct is pretty thin. But I would not recommend making a trim ring as thick as I did. Definitely find a sub that'll fit up inside that subwoofer housing. So I think the only way this is fitting back in here is if I trim a little bit off the bottom of this piece. All these vents are pretty loose, so they get taped together. So I think we could make do with losing a 1/4 inch off that thing. Alright, that did the trick. Lopped off about a I don't know, 1/4 of an inch of that HVAC system. I got it lowered down just enough that the sub's not touching the ductwork. It went back in easy. I don't really feel much airflow coming off of here. You know, I feel more air kind of leaking out down to these parts than I do up here. Even this foam's not airtight here. There's even a gap there. I feel more air coming out there than I do out of the side or anything. That's a pretty tight fit. As you can see, it goes up in the cone. I'll give you a little closer up look in there. It's pretty crazy engineering. There it is.